Hello Internet, welcome back to our tutorial series. In last episode we talked about guns. We found our first gun. While I'm thinking of it, let's wield our spear. So we don't have the gun in our hands. Feeling a little hoarse as well. I'm only 5 episodes in. Hopefully that doesn't become an issue. So we know that there are 6-ish zombies up here. Now, of course, traditional knowledge would say, hey, don't engage them. There's no reason to engage them. But I kind of want a little freedom of movement up here. I would like to loot some of these houses. And my preferred playstyle, like the recommendation for new players is always, hey, just raid at night. It's easy to slip in a building without being seen, get stuff, and slip out. That's the traditional recommendation for Cataclysm. And it's what I would encourage you to do. But as a more experienced player, I really do prefer looting during the daylight. I don't go out at night that much until I find like light amplification goggles that let you see in the dark really well. So I usually just explore during the day. So what I would like to do is head this way and hopefully be exposed to, I was going to say 1 or 2 of the Farrell Runners. Because once they spot us or get a whiff of us or whatever, they will come after us and they will come very quickly. So it's easy to separate them from the group of zombies. So it looks like someone's coming. There's the Farrell Runner. So we'll back up. And again, Farrell Runners are fast but low HP zombies. So we'll go ahead and deal with him. We'll shift to running. Wait for him to come close. Take a hit, back up. Take a hit, back it up. Hit him. So he never touched us and we killed him. Camera Pro, I don't know if cameras and other miscellaneous electronics have a lot of value in game. We never did touch on this. They can be disassembled for various parts, which are pretty great. Because when we get to crafting certain electronics, we will want a lot of those parts. So we'll go ahead and grab the camera. Fruit wine, again, alcohol, not super valuable, but we'll take it. We already have quite a bit of it. And I think that's probably it. Again, we could start harvesting sunglasses just in case we need to manufacture our own welding goggles at some point in the future. So I will pick those up as well. Stop running because we don't want to lose our stamina. So we'll get our stamina back. And we'll try to do the same thing. Just bait 1 or 2 of them because we know this is mostly clear. This is the survivor house that we've seen. We've cleared out like 4 or 5 survivor zombies. So it seems unlikely that there are any more in there. And we know there's all we saw over here was 1 fat zombie. Now we don't want to expose ourselves fully to the road on the off chance because you never know. There could be 10 other zombies right here tearing up a vehicle or something. Hold on a moment. My family was calling for my brother, shouting through the house because God forbid anyone walk up the stairs. So we know this is mostly clear over here, so we can kind of stick to this wall and just hopefully be exposed to some of them over here to bring them over 1 or 2 at a time. They're not really seeing me. I would need to get closer. So let's take a few steps closer. We really don't want a lot of them. We can watch the mini-map as they track over to us. So there is one coming. I'm guessing it's either the fat or regular zombie. It's the regular zombies. So we'll just deal with them again. Again, let them come into range. Shift to running. And wait for them to progress. And then take some shots. Just every time we think they may get another quick move, we'll take an extra step. That's just something you'll learn to get a feel for. Cleared them out again, no damage. They didn't hit us. They didn't do anything to us. See another zombie. Where? Oh, hello. So this is why it's important to keep an eye on your surroundings. There we have one coming from the west. We will shift to running again, let them approach us. Can attack 2 diagonally as we discussed previously. That can be a little finicky when the zombies choose not to cooperate, but for the most part we're fine. And it's dead. Again, did not hit us. This time we got a 22, as we discussed in our gun episode, last episode. 22s are some of the hottest garbage in the game. If we look, they deal approximately 12 damage, which is considerably less than your average melee strike. So for instance, we just hit that zombie critical for 25. What's our standard? Did we talk about this? If you press capital P, you bring up the log in case you need to see more information than what is displayed in our current log, and we can pan up and down. So you'll see we're hitting for 21, 30, 22, 25, 25. 12 damage from a 22 by comparison is pretty pathetic. 22s are obviously not meant for, it's a rat shot. It's not meant for killing a human-sized enemy. Not that 22s can't. It's just that they're not really designed for that. In fact, I remember being in high school, and there was a story about a girl who basically So that's the Farrell Runner has spotted us. Her family was being burgled, basically, home invasion or whatever. She was home alone, this little like 10 or 12-year-old girl. And yeah, like 3 guys came to her house and she shot them with a .22 rifle and killed like all 3 guys. And I remember my soc teacher was like, "This is America," and I was like, "Okay, that's fine." So 22 definitely capable of killing someone. So we know we've killed 2 of the Farrell Runners. Usually they spawn in packs of 2 or 3. So again, just something you'll learn over time. They usually come in packs of 2 or 3. So we know we've probably cleared out all the Farrells unless there's another cluster. We killed a zombie. Was that it? And 2 child zombies from this area. So we know there's probably a fat zombie lingering around up here. We did see one previously, and that brainless zombie, but again, those are basically blind during the day. Well, also and during the night. They're basically blind. You need to be within 3 or 4 tiles of them. They don't have exceptional hearing or anything. They really are meant to be a throwaway creature. So, yeah, don't need to worry about the brainless at all. We could walk all around here and he would never notice us. So we know it's relatively clear. I feel comfortable pressing up to get vision. We're not seeing the fat zombie. It's possible it wandered in between the buildings. Or alternatively, it may have also gone inside and killed itself. So let's take a look at the building itself. That looks like a Farrell Runner. There's the fat zombie. This is a Farrell Runner. So we will deal with the fat zombie cautiously, of course. They have more HP than your standard zombies, so we do want to be a little careful because this one will be a little better at surviving. Really, you can stay over there as much as you want, and I'll just kill you from there. It's fine. We'll pulp these while we have the opportunity. Excuse me, again, getting a little hoarse already today, which is disappointing because I'm only about 5 episodes in, and I really wanted to record a ton today. It looks like I might end up waiting until I get back from work when I might have recovered a little bit, although I like to sing in the car, so who knows. We'll go ahead and just be cautious and close the front. Mostly it's the rear I'm concerned about. If we get exposed down here, we'll be exposed to this park with all the monster density. And again, child zombies. Oh, it looks like the windows are actually closed down there. Experiencing a lot of indoors that are locked. I'm a little surprised by that. Used to not really be that way. I did see someone on Discord complaining about that recently, but I just thought it was their imagination because it's pretty rare. So we're running into that a lot. So why don't we go ahead real quick. Let's grab our nail bat. And we're going to smash this for scrap metal to make lockpicks. I wouldn't do this close to the park because they'll hear it, but we're pretty far away. It's probably not going to carry all that way, so we'll just go ahead and quickly smash this. You'll see we got 14 scrap metal, and we'll make some lockpicks because we ran out. Oops, not plural, just singular. We'll make 10 of them. Great, we have lockpicks. We put them on the counter because crafting on counters is beneficial. It decreases the time required to craft. We're going to talk about that when we settle into our base and start crafting in larger numbers, in larger quantities. Currently, we've been just like crafting a little bit here and there. Let's also rebind. So if we go, I believe in inventory, we select our lockpicks and we go to reassign, it will let us change the letter of this. I'm going to change this to R. That way I can just quickly hit A and then R to use the lockpick. That way I don't have to constantly try to hit enter. Oops. Okay, it doesn't rebind all of them. It only rebinds one. That's a bit silly. Reassign R. Okay, 9 improvised lockpicks. I see. And then when I separate them, because this one gets damaged, it gets reassigned to a different number. Okay, so that's not great with the lockpicks, but we did manage to open the door, so we'll pop in here. Just a little reading room. We are exposed on the west there, or the east rather. So let's crouch. Actually, crouching, we could push the chair. That way we're not being exposed. We're keeping the chair between us and the enemies. And we'll just step over here. Cannot close the window without curtains. So what we will do instead, we will pull the chair out of the way. There's something in our kitchen, sounds like. And we will push the bookcase over there instead to block some of that view. There's really no reason to do this, actually, because there's nothing in this room. So let's just back out and see what enemies we have. Let's turn off crouching so we're not slow. We're not seeing anything. We did hear some enemies. Let's go out and deal with that because I would rather not have them creeping up behind us. Again, the brainless is just going to wander around aimlessly. Let me get that cursor out of there. Sorry, I always forget about the mouse cursor. So that brainless is pretty useless. Let's check around the corner. Not seeing anything. There may be a basement in the house, and we were actually hearing sounds underneath of us. Is probably what is happening. But it's good to be aware of that kind of stuff. A linen closet with pillows. Another locked door. Satisfying click. The lock opens. What's our mechanics? 28%. Not making as much progress as I would like. Oh, that's exposed. We'll deal with that in a second. I was just looking, hopefully, to find a basement, which we've not found. So, what was I hearing, I wonder? I don't know. Because if we heard it in this area, it probably... like, hearing things is not exact. It's usually an area around the sound that you might hear it. Like, we might hear something right here and know that it's clear there, but it might actually be coming from the closet. So I don't know. There's possibly stairs right here, but it seems more likely that that's a closet. And there could be stairs in the garage, but that's pretty rare as well. So we are overseeing this little alcove here. We'll close these up. We'll check this closet. So silly to me that some of these things are locked. You destroy your tool. Okay, so it's capital N. So this is much slower to do this because it's not a key that's like easily handy. Yeah, it's a closet. Who locks their closet? That kind of stuff really bothers me in the game. I do tend to complain about things like that. Is that a soldering iron? I definitely want a soldering iron. Always take a soldering iron if you see it. I often forget and then hate myself later because I don't have soldering irons. I don't really need mustard. So, we're going to check here. Weird that this doesn't have a door on it. I was going to just slip in and close these because these, again, will put us exposed to this. If we step over here, we're suddenly... actually, we're not really exposed. I guess this is a rock garden is the joke here, but it's like large boulders are enormous, so it seems peculiar to me. Let's close this so we can move freely. And because this faces the house, we're not really worried about that. So what do we got? Cardboard box with toilet paper. For 89 cents, it literally says a luxurious remnant of civilization. Toilet paper would be worth so much in the apocalypse. Can't believe that's so cheap. And then we have a diesel engine. We'll talk about engines and stuff in detail. Sorry, my chair is just so frustrating. We'll talk about engines and stuff in more detail when we get around to cars. For the moment, there's really nothing to say about it. We'll talk about them when we get there. So this garage was not very good for us. So let's just get out of here. This house in general did not have very much. So that's a bit disappointing. Did I search the kitchen? I don't feel like I did. I guess I did. Yeah, some stuff. Really not much. Slim pickings. But even slim pickings is a lot these days because they really boosted... I said boofed. They really boosted the item spawns. I kind of would like to just kill this guy so I stop seeing him. So let's... we see child zombies. Far to the south. They're not close enough to see us. Let's kill him. You'll see he still can't see us despite being 2 tiles away from us. If we step any closer, he will. Why am I wielding the nail bat? Because I was bashing. Let's back off and wield the forked spear. You'll see he might get a whiff of us occasionally, but he's not going to really do anything. So if we get within a tile... Oh, really? They're still blind? I thought I increased it to like 2 tiles where they could see. Regardless, they're really weak and pathetic. So we should be able to kill him. No problem. Again, that's the whole point of those creatures, is that they're pathetic and weak. We do have vehicles here. We're at 14 minutes. We're not going to talk about vehicles in this episode. We'll do that next episode, I think. So let's check out the survivor house. Now, survivor houses. So any house that has boarded up windows. Some houses have boarded up windows that are not survivor houses, but for the most part, when you find survivor zombies and there's a boarded up house, that's where they came from. Now, there is at least one layout of survivor houses that contains landmines. And I'm telling you that as a spoiler, because screw that, that's ridiculous and it will get you killed. So some of these locations, it's really unfair that they put landmines in the house, because like most characters are not going to notice them. Like we have a perception of 9. Perception is what determines if you spot a mine or a trap or something. As a new player, you have no idea that there are going to be landmines in the house, and then you walk into the house and you explode, and that's the end of your character, and that's really frustrating. So I don't think this is a layout with the explosives, because we probably would have heard at least one of the zombies that came out of here trigger a bomb, but we're going to be real careful. We're going to pick these up. In fact, I'm going to save, because I'm not going to lose my tutorial playthrough just because of landmines. So I'm just going to brazenly walk through this house, but be aware that there's at least one variant. Don't smash with your forked spear, because we don't want to damage what is already a pretty flimsy weapon. Actually, it's holding up pretty well. We've killed quite a few of them. How's this thing doing? Are you flimsy? You are flimsy. Maybe there are variants of flimsy. I thought it was just flimsy or not flimsy. We can see, of course, lots of enemies have blocked, have exited this building. First aid book's really good. You'll see they've barricaded the front door as well with bookcases, because they boarded everything up. I really like locations like this. I made a gun store variant that was like this, where they stacked up, they broke in the front glass and stacked everything up to blockade. So I really like that kind of flavor stuff. Again, I just don't like that some of them have landmines. We're not seeing anything. Man, my voice is hoarse. My throat hurts a little bit. Probably going to stop recording after this one. So here's a regular zombie that died on the glass. We'll take the lighter. And we'll just look around. Hand crank charger. This will let us manually charge batteries with our hands. They are extremely slow and should only be used in an emergency. 12 gauge pistol, so it's a 12 gauge shotgun pistol with one shell that goes in. It's probably a handmade gun. Somebody tooled themselves. We'll take it just because it's the only shotgun we found. Here's a cot. A cot is a place to sleep that can be deployed. We'll try to take this just because if we find our NPC isn't using the bed, we could throw the cot right next to him and pretty much guarantee he would use it. We could disassemble the TV and probably the stereo system for, what is this? Entertainment center. For electronics parts, but we're probably not going to do that. I really don't need multiple cots. Sounds like there's something in the southern portion of this building. I'm going to be careful. Is it downstairs from the west and below? That may be in the prison? No, it's probably in this building. The basement of this building. We have a gun safe. This particular safe type requires you to hack it. It's an electronic gun safe. We don't have the means to do that. That requires special tools. So we're not going to do that. We're going to just check around. At this point, pretty confident there's no landmines here, so I'm not super concerned. Nails, hand crank charger. Again, we don't need 2 of them. We're probably not even going to use the one. Some random stuff, not really interested in. And we'll check this. We are hearing things. It is in this room. This room looks mostly empty. Just going to close that on him. Actually, he's just going to break it down. Yeah. So we'll just go to running and try to pull him outside. Where is our exit? To the north. So we will head out this way. Okay. And we'll take shots as we go. But we're going to continually move towards the exit just on the off chance. We don't want to get cornered in like a narrow area. So we'll go ahead and wait for our stamina. Check his corpse. Oh, another Smith & Wesson. This is a 10mm. We'll grab that. So we're finding a lot of guns. Again, this is the benefit of the survivors. I'm surprised the survivors themselves did not have any weaponry on them, really. Football armor. So this is exactly what you think it is. And it weighs... It's not the weight. It's the encumbrance is 35, which is enormous. That is a ton of encumbrance on your torso. So you figure currently we have 44 encumbrance on our torso. That is because we have a very full backpack. So that is taking up 34. So we basically would either have to choose between our storage or our armor, because together they would be 70 plus torso encumbrance, which means we would have like a 70% chance to miss every single attack. So although it's pretty great, if we look at it, it has protection of 9s, which are on par with some like mid-tier armor that you would get in the mid-game. Well, low tier of the mid-game. It's pretty great, but we wouldn't ever wear that because it would be too encumbering. Now, we might wear the Chaps. Now, the Chaps have protection of 6 and 6 because they're leather, and they have a really low encumbrance. The problem is they only have 65% coverage, which means there's a good chance that they just would not protect us. Similarly, we have the Kilt. The Kilt has 50% coverage, which I think should be a little higher, personally, because kilts tend to be longer, or at least the kilts I have seen in my lifetime. I had a Welsh friend. It doesn't matter. I've seen kilts, but mostly they were long kilts. I don't know if that's the standard practice or not. But again, it's leather, so it has 6 and 6. And it has 0 encumbrance. So we could just throw this on over our clothing. In fact, that's exactly what we should do. We're going to wear this kilt. I didn't know it was 0 encumbrance. Anything with 0 encumbrance, you should put on. The only time it will be an issue, let's go to our legs. It may be an issue. Let's go to our legs. Yeah. So they occupy the same layer. So both the kilt and the jeans, even though the kilt was 0 encumbrance, because it's conflicting with another layer, it's giving us 2 encumbrance. So basically, we're getting 6 and 6 protection for 2 encumbrance. And what we could do even more is take off the jeans and replace them with the leather chaps. And it would be, in fact, give me the chaps. Give me the chaps. Where's the chaps? Is it not this pile? Must not be this pile. I thought it was that pile. Leather chaps. Let's look at the leather chaps next to... I hate when it does this. I really prefer when it splits it between inventory and equipment. So look at the... No, not the kilt. Look at the jeans next to the leather chaps. You'll see they cover less, but they have the same warmth. They have the same... they have lower encumbrance, which is what we're looking for. And they have higher protection. So I think chaps and a kilt, as weird as it sounds, is better than wearing the jeans. So we're going to throw on the chaps. So now our torso has okay protection with the trench coat, which we're still looking to replace and upgrade. But our legs are much more insulated now that we have 2 leather items that will cover. They have low coverage values, but I think between the 2 of them, they will stop a lot of blows. So I think that that's pretty great. Obviously, leather pants would be a little preferable to the chaps, but that is okay. In fact, I'm going to take a back up some of the other leather gear for harvesting leather later. Anything else? Take the sunglasses, like I said. Bra, undershirt. No, none of that's really relevant. Headlamps don't really matter that much. Universal... No, ignore that. That's from the prison. Oh, and more stuff here as well. Ponchos are also leather. No, they're plastic. Okay, leather ponchos are what I'm thinking of. Lots of stuff we don't care about. We could take a tool belt. I don't usually wear tool belts, but we could take them. They let you slot your tools onto them, so instead of carrying tools in your inventory, you just wear them on your hips or whatever. Definitely grab the long strings. I'm kind of tired of picking up the light batteries, so I think we'll hold off on that. We'll take another matchbook. Anything of value, more knives we don't really need. A colander I don't need. And then we'll just take what we can, and we'll be overweight, and soon we're going to be filled up to the brim, and we'll go back to the base and drop stuff off. We'll come back and loot this basement later. And the reason I want to loot the basement is because it's attached to... Swimmer zombie. All the way over there. Is because it's attached to a survivor house, so it may be a special basement that has a higher value for us. Most of the time when you find a basement in the game, it does not matter what house it's attached to. It will be randomly assigned basement. But there are some locations that have specific basements that are... Oh, our forked spear is very damaged now. So basically, we had a fully repaired forked spear. Then we fought that tough zombie and it broke halfway to being completely broken. It's ridiculous. Again, we talked about how completely broken flimsy is and it needs to be addressed. I understand something being flimsy, but it needs to be more consistent in how it breaks. So I really would prefer if it was like a set number of turns that you could use it before it began to take damage. Or maybe that is how it works, and I just don't know. We don't have the means to repair this, unfortunately. We're still pretty far from making a welder. I mean, it's day 1, You can absolutely do it on day one. It's just we probably don't have the means to do it. We're probably not going to find one. So the best bet would be to make a new one. I think we would like to keep using ranged weapons, reach weapons, instead of switching. Because normally in my casual playthrough, I just go to the nail bat. It's sturdier than the forked spear, and I wouldn't even think twice about making another reach weapon. But I think for this playthrough, we probably want to make another forked spear. So why don't we do that? We're gonna need a stick, so we'll come over here and grab a stick. Find a little baby tree. Smash it up. At this point, we don't care if the weapon gets damaged, so we'll just smash it. Grab the long stick so we have backups in the future. Stamina's a little low, that's fine. Now don't interact with him. Drop our sticks. We need to make spikes. We need 3 spikes. No, not spike on a stick, just regular spikes. We don't have any steel. I mean, do we not have... Oh, it took chunks. That's right. It took chunks of steel, which we don't have. We'll go up here and gather up the stuff we dropped previously. Grab those chunks of steel. We'll grab the rags as well, just so we can move them back to our base. Seeing that swimmer zombie again? Are you coming up? Where's their pitbull to our south? No, we don't need to fight them. We don't need the meat or anything. We're doing fine. We'll come up here. We'll make a bunch of spikes. Spike. Need 3 of them. Dispose, yes. Store in inventory. Store in inventory. And then we'll make the forked spear. The sun is finally going down, so we'll have a conversation about about nighttime raiding at some point. But for now, we're just going to do this. Go ahead and give our friend here our old spear. Let's trade items. Would you like a broken forked spear? I'm going to owe you... Oh, he's wielding the cudgel now. Good. So we'll go ahead and give him... Yes, you can have that. Says bye. He is wielding a cudgel. Good. That's a step up from the pipe that he was using. So that's very good. Because we talked about that when we gave it to him. We didn't understand why he... Did I just give him... I gave him the good forked spear. Of course I did. And the sun's going down, so we're going to run out of light. So let's, so annoying. Okay. That's fine. I'm going to go ahead and make another 3 spikes. Just do this quickly. Store inventory. Let's step to where there's light. Because the sun is going down. Make a forked spear. Well, whatever. He has a good forked spear now. Hopefully he will use that in the future. So go ahead and wield the forked spear. We already are. Okay. Go ahead and drop the busted one. We're 28 minutes. I'm going to head back up. So, I'm feeling very hoarse right now. So, I'm feeling a little out of it. Where's this swimmer? Still all the way over there. Feeling a little hoarse. So, I think I'm going to stop recording for the night. What we will do when we come back, a couple things. Number 1, I would like to loot this basement. So, we're going to go up here and save on the stairs. So, I remember, hey, we're going in the basement. And then 2, I would like to do an episode on vehicles, which I may or may not remember to do in the coming episodes, but we'll get there eventually, and we'll talk about lots and lots of vehicle stuff. And then also I would like to do an episode where we talk about the proper technique for exploring at nighttime, and just not a proper technique, but like just general tidbits, just tips and suggestions on what to do and how to be as safe as possible. So, yeah, got some ideas for upcoming episodes, but for now, I think I need to take a break because my throat is just being a jerk. So, thank you for watching. I'll be back with more in the near future. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and I'll see you next time.